Hello everyone and welcome to Mountain Lake Journal. I'm Tom Halleck. This week, a call to action on climate change. There's a new movement across America and in the Adirondacks demanding more be done to prioritize and address the climate crisis. Our producer Michael Hansen has more on the army of young people joining the movement, their protest march here in Plattsburgh this past week, and their demands for political leaders.
We strike today as world leaders gather at the United Nations Annual Climate Conference to move forward on the Paris Climate Change Agreement.
Sunrise is really trying to nationalize the climate activist movement and get like a general consensus of this is a huge issue and we need people to act and we need people to act now.
We've known about this issue well since the 80s and nothing has changed. We've only continued to make matters worse. The Sunrise Movement is a national organization of youth, and we are trying to push our politicians to support a Green New Deal. And so that is actively what we are doing here today, going to Representative Elise Stefanik's office in hopes of having her support what all of these people want to see happen. So the Green New Deal, it is a massive initiative of a rework of how this country is going to operate in order to survive the climate crisis that we are seeing. And so what they're focused on is creating thousands of new jobs. They want to see every single person in this country have a job that supports a living wage and is not doing a negative effect to our climate. So rebuilding our infrastructure as we know it, implementing wind, solar, and helping those people in areas with low income because they're going to be adversely affected and don't have the resources.
We are gathering here to focus our collective resolve and hope on our Congresswoman, Representative Elise Stefanik, as we present her with three demands.
Here specifically, we have three demands for Elise Stefanik, who's our representative. One, we're declaring that she declare a climate emergency. Two is she needs to sign the no fossil fuel pledge. So she's taken over $100,000 since she's taken office from fossil fuel executives, and that's just to us unacceptable. We're not gonna have dirty money in our politics. That's just not okay. And then lastly, she needs to side with the Green New Deal. We're targeting her because she's our rep. She's speaking for us, and we're not trying to single out Republicans. I mean, truthfully, most politicians aren't doing much right now. Even if they say that, yeah, this is an issue, this is something we need to work on, nobody's attacking climate change with the vigor that it needs to be attacked as of right now.
We don't stay quiet. We don't sit down and let things happen to us. We act.
The go-to is like, is climate change real? Well, no, because we have these super cold winters. It's snowing right now as I speak. But I think it's beyond that. It's climate change. It's not global warming. It's a change. It's of fluctuations with the climate. So we're having these huge extremes, huge highs and low lows. It's unprecedented to anything we've seen before. It's universally accepted that we cannot raise the global temperature above 2 degrees Celsius. That's the cutoff. And as soon as it gets above that, we're facing issues that we're kind of seeing now, but are really unprecedented to any time in the past.
My family has made maple syrup for the past couple of years, and we're not a massive production by any means, but I know a lot of people are, and that season alone is getting shorter and shorter. So that means if you are somebody who relies on maple production, that's not going to become viable within the next 10 years for you.
We have a huge tick problem up here right now, and I live in Saranac Lake, and that was never a problem growing up. So you're seeing this kind of fluctuation of different species kind of adapting to this giant temperature changes and temperature fluctuations. We're getting hotter summers and colder winters.
In this area, in the North Country, agriculture and tourism are the two major economic drivers, and they're both being adversely affected by climate change to the point that Franklin County Legislature unanimously passed a resolution calling for action, as did Town of North Elba, Village of Lake Placid, Town of Harrystown, Village of Saranac Lake, Town of Tupper Lake, Village of Tupper Lake. These are all the Tri-Lakes area, the North Country region, and it's going to be a desperate situation.
I will be working at Whiteface Mountain this winter, and if we lose snow completely, which is a possibility, we're not going to have that, which means we're not going to have the money that we need for people to survive in this area. You know, there's not many options for income currently within the Adirondacks. You pretty much I think like 60% of most workers are somewhere within that service industry bracket, which means that you are catering to people who live outside of this area. And if they stop coming here or they are unable to get here, that money is gone for you and your family.
Climate change, it's not an issue of party. It's not like a pro-democratic point. It's a bipartisan issue. It's a multicultural issue, and I think that's the big thing to keep in mind is that many, many people are going to be affected by climate change, regardless of their background. And as humanity, it's a moral issue that we need to really keep in mind.
Congresswoman Elise Stefanik has come out against the Green New Deal, though, saying that she believes the progressive climate plan would lead to massive tax hikes that would hurt the North Country's economy. Her spokeswoman told the Press Republican that as a member of the Climate Solutions Caucus, made up of both Republican and Democratic House members, Stefanik and her congressional colleagues are seeking solutions to the climate crisis and do not support the United States' withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement.